Right now, the end of an era for Circus World in Baraboo, and their most popular performers took their final vow. Plus, Florida officials are sharing more about the racially motivated shooting that left 3 dead. And we share a story of perseverance, how a Wisconsin woman was able to start fresh with a clean slate. That's all coming up right now at 10. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. Today marked the end of an era for the elephants of the circus world in Baraboo as they took their final bow. Photojournalist Corey Ferris brings us the sights and sounds from their final performance.
Back in the days of your great-grandparents, in years gone by, on Circus Day was heard this cry: "Hold your horses! Here come the elephants!"
There are 135 years here in Baraboo and over 62 of our 64 years here at Circus World. This is the last and final performance under the big top with our largest and most celebrated stars, the Circus World elephants.
We got to come to the circus for the first time with my children. So as a parent, it's my first time bringing them. So it was really special and also very monumental because we had to say goodbye to the elephants for their last time here.
From 1888 on, the first 2 elephants come to town, Babe and Fanny. So they're part of the DNA of this community. I mean, they're everywhere in town. When you get off of the interstate, elephants in a circus train emblazed upon the overpasses. Public art here in this community is all circus and elephant themed. The Ringleys used to take their herd of elephants for a walk around town multiple times a day. And so many Baraboo residents have fond stories of the elephants stealing laundry off of their lines or picking their prize petunias out of the front lawn. It's just been part of the community experience here at Baraboo.
I'm happy for them because I feel like, I bet it was, pretty arduous sometimes for them. And on the other hand, I think it's really sad because they brought so much joy to people and they still do.
There's nothing that can really replace them. The show will go on, but there'll be a jumbo-sized hole in all of our hearts.
Well done, and thank you for spending your life here in Wisconsin. Have a nice retirement.
Until we meet again.
And if you're wondering what will happen to the elephants, they will be moving to retirement at the Endangered Ark Foundation in Oklahoma. Now let's get a look at your first warn forecast with meteorologist Jacob Montesano. Jacob, is it a little bit chillier out there than normal right now?
Well, I feel like it's pretty close to average, but when you consider the last couple of days, not necessarily yesterday, but earlier last week, it definitely feels like it is pretty chilly out here. But as I mentioned, it's not too far from what we normally see this time of night for this time of the year. 61 is the current temperature in Madison. Some areas have already dropped into the 50s. It's going to be a pretty calm and clear night for the most part. Earlier today, we saw very nice temperatures. Highs were in the upper 70s, lower 80s for some, and we had a lot of sunshine, and the wind wasn't too bad either, so pretty much perfect conditions for this Sunday. Now, a big reason it felt so nice is these dew points have been a lot more comfortable than what they have been, especially over the last week. We saw dew points in the 60s and 50s today rather than the 70s, and we even saw dew points up into the lower 80s last week. So much more comfortable temperatures over the weekend, and as we look at the current radar, we also have been very dry. During the overnight hours, we'll see low temperatures in the mid-50s, mostly clear skies, comfortable temperatures for the most part. And tomorrow, it will be a bit warmer, but still very nice with partly sunny skies and very mild temperatures. Now, we do expect to see warmer temperatures for your Labor Day weekend. I'll have more details on that coming up a bit later in the show.
Jacob, thank you. This week, our state was home to the highly anticipated first GOP primary debate. And on this week's For the Record, we were joined by Robert Craig, Executive Director of Citizen Action of Wisconsin. He spoke about how the stance on climate change by the GOP and those on the debate stage differ from other conservative parties from around the world, and that the GOP's stance on climate change is dangerous.
It is actually an anomaly in that in the other advanced democracies and in wealthy countries, the conservative parties are not climate denying. So they're a real outlier, unfortunately, and it's dangerous. So this party is very much in hock to the fossil fuel industry.
Of the notable names on the debate stage, Nikki Haley was the sole person to admit that climate change can be man-made. New tonight, a Lancaster man died yesterday afternoon after a UTV crash in rural Grant County. The Grant County Sheriff's Office received a report of a single UTV crash along Oak Road near Elm Road in the township of Parrish just after 5 p.m. yesterday. Officials say 47-year-old Jarvis Eastlick was traveling north on Oak Road when he lost control of his UTV. The UTV stopped in a pasture on the east side of the road with Eastlick pinned underneath. Paramedics removed the UTV, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. We are learning more about the Jacksonville shooting that the FBI is calling racially motivated hate crime. Police say Ryan Palmer was responsible for killing 3 people at a Dollar General store in a historically black neighborhood. We also know that police were on the scene 11 minutes after the shooting started. Jacksonville police are calling the shooting senseless.
Our community is grappling to understand why this atrocity occurred. I urge us all not to look for sense in a senseless act of violence. There's no reason or explanation that we'll ever account for the shooter's decisions and actions.
Police identified the victims as 52-year-old Angela Michelle Carr, 19-year-old AJ Luhair, and 28-year-old Gerald Gallion. Officials say Palmer legally purchased a handgun in April and an AR-15 style rifle in June. Authorities also say the gunman used racial slurs, left behind a racist writing, and drew swastikas on his forearm. In more local news, with the start of MMSD school year just being 5 days away, some students are looking to get a fresh haircut. And for the 15th year, JP Hair Design Incorporated hosted their back-to-school free haircuts. The event offered, you guessed it, free haircuts to kids grades K through 12 and offered most basic haircuts. People from all over Dane County came to the Alliant Energy Center to experience what the host of the event calls a very unique way to start the school year.
You don't see other cities getting together with barbers in the industry, coming together to collaborate. And that's one unique thing about Madison and Dane County is we have a group of barbers that champion each other. And I mean, that's great.
The event was held in partnership with many organizations, including the Dane County Immunization Coalition, which is helping get kids their back-to-school vaccines along with their haircuts. There was also a scholarship given out at the event for a barbershop apprenticeship to one student who wants to get into the industry. Most people don't want to be defined by their worst moments, but for those with felony convictions, that's often the case. But second chances can happen, as one Madison woman our Braden Ross spoke to this week can tell us firsthand.
This is me completing the financial institution.
Eureka Talley has a lot to be proud of.
This is me completing and understanding the pay stubs.
It's easy for her to talk about her accomplishments. The challenge is talking about the things she isn't proud of. That story starts here.
I was born in Chicago, Illinois. I had an excellent childhood, beautiful parents, great work ethic.
As a little girl, she dreamed of becoming a nurse. But in her teen years, things got complicated.
I just didn't like being told what to do, so at a young age, I was out on my own. A lot of that came with a lot of emotional things like domestic violence.
Eventually, she escaped and moved to Madison, where she met her husband. For 20 years, they've loved each other through many tests of their relationship, but none more impactful than a fight one November night in 2003 that would change Eureka's life.
It was still that little girl that had been through so many different things and was so full of anger and rage. What I thought was to do was to run, grab this knife, stab this person. You know, you're not going to hurt me. You're not going to harm me. You're not going to beat me.
Her husband came out with a few stitches. Eureka with a felony conviction.
These are the things that I did. I take full ownership in that. My husband has forgiven me. I have forgiven me.
But Eureka persisted, went to anger management and parenting classes, and started the process of going back to school. But still, the felony conviction hung over her head.
Certain jobs didn't want to hire me because of the things that I had on my back. Certain apartments did not want to give me a chance at living at their apartment.
A person is just not the worst thing that they've ever done, right? And should not just be held to that forever.
That's where the Urban League of Greater Madison comes in. They connected Eureka with organizations like Lawyers for Learners and Legal Action to help her start the process of wiping her record clean. Wisconsin's strict expungement laws meant Eureka only really had one option.
The pardon process, particularly in the state of Wisconsin, is one that is often the only reentry tool that's available.
In 2022, almost 2 decades after her original conviction, Governor Evers issued a pardon for Eureka.
I just scream and shout and jump for joy.
Now she's finished school and is working as an in-home caregiver. And thanks to a lot of healing and hard work, she's on her way to fulfilling that little girl's dream of becoming a nurse.
Everybody deserves a second chance.
Reporting in Madison, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
The Wisconsin Companion Animal Resources Education and Social Services, better known as WISC-Cares, celebrated their 10th anniversary this afternoon. At the WISC-Cares Clinic, the organization held a day of summer fun with pet costume projects, music, and more. The organization's goal is to provide pets to low-income and unhoused persons. Other services the organization provides are veterinary care and pet boarding as needed. Pet foster parent shares that the pairing an unhoused person with a pet can lead to many benefits for the individual.
It's everything. I mean, it feels like a lot of times they take better care of their dog than they do of themselves.
WISC-Cares aims to help unhoused people and pets alike for many more years to come. Ways to donate and help can be found on the WISC-Cares website. And coming up after the break, Madisonians crowded the street today for one of the largest outdoor festivals in the country. We'll take you there to this year's Orton Park Fest.
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, yes, everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. And that's why they all start dancing. Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
America, come along with our adventure seekers, the Sanchez family, and discover summer with the Ford F-150. See how available features like Pro Trailer Backup Assist make backing up as easy as turning a knob. Watch as Pro Power on board lights up the night. And Ford Blue Cruise makes driving even more fun. During the final days, get FlexBuy on a F-150 and get 3.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $1,500 FlexBuy, $1,000 Trade Assist, and $500 low APR cash.
Save 11% on everything now at Menards. Get the comfort and support you'd expect from a new mattress with Serta. Find the perfect mattress that fits your size and firmness needs. A Serta mattress in a box is compact and easy to transport, making it perfect for students heading back to school. Just unpack and unroll for an easy and convenient setup. Right now, Serta gel memory foam mattresses are starting at $289.95 after rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
This is the all-new Tempur-Pedic Breeze mattress, and it's designed to help you feel cool. So no more sweating all night, no kicking off the covers, or blasting the air conditioning. Because only the Tempur-Pedic Breeze is made with our one-of-a-kind cooling technology that pulls heat away from your body. So the mattress feels up to 10 degrees cooler all night long.
Save up to $700 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. And get a $300 gift. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
You work hard enough. Take a load off this Labor Day with new appliances from Brothers Maine. Celebrate the holiday with unbeatable deals on top brands like GE Appliances, Cafe, Hotpoint, and Haier. Don't miss out. Shop the Labor Day sale at Brothers Maine today.
Oof, gotta get rid of this.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh?
It helps remove odors 3 times better than detergent alone.
It worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh.
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, yes, everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. And that's why they all start dancing. Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
They captivated the nation. 9.9 million watched the game. Now, the ladies of the LSU basketball team take on the Jennifer Hudson Show. Y'all are leveling up women's basketball.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
And there you heard it, guys. One of the country's longest running outdoor music festivals wrapped up its final day on the corner of Spate and Ingersoll for the return of the Orton Park Festival. Now in its 58th year, it brings participants together for some exquisite food and craft, quirky traditions, and of course live music by some local musicians. The festival is typically one of the last hurrah before all kids go back to school. And one of the best things for families is that Madison is free thanks to all of the sponsors.
The parents and the kids are working together nicely. There's a lot of learning going on and family experiences. I guess the combination of all these local businesses, all the bike culture, and all the nice people.
All of the money raised by the sponsors goes right back to the community, looking to keep the festival alive for years to come. All of the festivities wrapped up at about 10 o'clock. And let's get a look at your first warn forecast with meteorologist Jacob Madison.
Thanks, Jalen. Here are the 3 things you need to know for the upcoming work week. We are going to remain comfortable through the middle of the week until around Thursday, and then we are going to see the temperatures warm up for Friday and the rest of Labor Day weekend. As far as precipitation, though, we really aren't going to see a whole lot of it for the foreseeable future. The dry trend is going to continue. Now, looking at the current radar, we are seeing mostly dry conditions, maybe a few pop-up showers, although I'm not 100% sure if these are actually rain, if perhaps they're just some small disturbances. But for the most part, we really aren't going to see any rainfall for the next several days. We'll see a lot of sunshine, maybe a few showers and storms, especially to the north of Madison, late tomorrow night into early Tuesday. But beyond that, we seriously are going to see a lot of sunshine for the next 10 days. Barely any clouds in the sky for days like Wednesday and Thursday. And the temperatures are going to be pretty comfortable, as I mentioned, but then they are going to start to warm up. So let me talk about the temperatures now. But first, let me talk about the precipitation for Labor Day. We are going to see pretty dry conditions continue for Labor Day weekend. This is the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook that falls right in the middle of Labor Day, and it's going to be pretty dry across our area. Now, as we look at the temperatures, we'll see lows tonight in the mid 50s. Further north, we could see low temperatures possibly get to the upper 40s, but for the most part, pretty close to average for this time of the year. And then tomorrow is going to be pretty nice, upper 70s, lower 80s for a lot of our area. Plenty of sunshine, maybe a bit warmer towards La Crosse, but for the most part, not going to be too bad tomorrow. Definitely, most people would probably consider tomorrow another very nice day. And the same can be said for Tuesday, with high temperatures right around 80 degrees with partly sunny to mostly sunny skies. And then as we look at the 10-day temperature outlook, we are going to see those temperatures warm up by the end of the week. Mid to upper 80s for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Possibly lower 90s for Labor Day, so that actually might be the hottest day. Now, the good thing with the warmer temperatures this upcoming weekend is that the humidity values look to be a little bit lower, so the heat index values will likely be a lot closer to the actual temperatures. This is in comparison to last week's heat wave. We also see the temperatures start to improve a little bit by next Wednesday. But looking beyond the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, it looks like we are going to remain above average here in Madison and a lot of the United States. So it does appear that we may be for a pretty warm September compared to average. Now, this doesn't mean we'll see triple-digit heat index values all the time, because by the time we get to September, those become very unlikely. But the warmth is definitely not gone just yet, especially for your Labor Day weekend. But for the next 4 days, it's going to be very nice. And then Friday will be the first day of that warm trend. And as far as precipitation goes, we really aren't going to see much of it. So if you do have any Labor Day plans, just be prepared for the heat. No, you don't necessarily need to cancel. It's not expected to be as bad as it was last week. But maybe, include some pool plans, some lake plans in your schedule, because although September is looking warm, you never know when the last good opportunity comes to, really enjoy, the lake or your pool.
That's right. But I mean, at least for the next 5 days or so, it's going to be a lot cooler as opposed to what we saw last week. I know that I was out in the field reporting quite a bit in some of that extreme heat, but luckily there's not any of that on the horizon, at least not right now.
Yeah, and like I said, when we get to the Labor Day weekends, kind of mini heat wave, it's not expected to be as humid as it was last week. So those heat index values will be pretty close to the actual temperatures.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Jacob. Extreme heat, as we all know, can be dangerous to our bodies, but I'm sure not all of us know that that same extreme heat can be dangerous to our homes as well. Consumer Reports' experts share tips on how you can protect your house from the sun's damaging rays.
We all know the toll that summer's heat takes on people and pets, but that's not all. Consumer Reports says it can wreak havoc on your home, too. For starters, don't take your HVAC system for granted. It's likely overtaxed from the constant high heat, which can lead to pricey repairs. A simple DIY fix is to regularly replace the air filters and then schedule regular professional maintenance. And it's not just the heat. Climate change is making storms more frequent and destructive, like summer storms and flooding.
Homeowners insurance generally doesn't cover water coming from outside of your house, so it's not a bad idea to supplement your coverage with a flood policy.
But even without a flood, extreme heat can create water damage in other ways, specifically with your plumbing. Metal pipes can expand and contract, and over time, leak.
You want to inspect your plumbing routinely or have a plumber do it on a recurring basis. You could also consider installing a leak detector. They're a little bit expensive right up front, but they can save you tons of money in the long run.
Consumer Reports recommends this leak detector for Moen. And those high temperatures can wear down your roofing, so it's important to inspect it regularly and look for damaged shingles or tiles. Replace them before they can leak and cause more damage. High heat and humidity can also create the ideal conditions for mold and mildew.
You want to keep the humidity inside your home between 30 and 50%. Anything higher and mold and dust mites can thrive. A dehumidifier can help with that.
CR tests dehumidifiers and says this media for larger rooms can help remove water from the air and maintain that ideal humidity in your home. This is Teresa Panetta.
Still to come, riding a season-best 7-game win streak. Could the Brewers make it 8? Andrew's got that and much more coming up in sports.
It's been the weekend of big innings for the Brewers. Friday, it was 5 runs in the 3rd. Yesterday, 5 runs in the 5th. And riding a season-best 7-game win streak, did the Brewers have one more big inning in them on Sunday. Pick it up in the 6th, crew trail 4-2. One down with the bases loaded, and the big man wants everybody to eat. Rowdy Tellez clobbers a ball into the right field corner. It would score 2 Brewers. And then later in the inning, crew leading 5-4, bases juice for Sal Frelick, and the rookie comes through. It rolls into the left field corner to score 2 more Brewers. And the crew ride a 7-run 6th inning to their 8th straight win. Tomorrow, they head to Wrigley, and if they can keep this win streak alive, it could all but lock up the NL Central. When asked how this year's team compares to teams of seasons past, as Matt LaFleur said, I really don't know yet. It's still the preseason, and while that's fair and puts things in perspective, 2 weeks from today, the new-look Packers travel to Soldier Field to open their season against the Bears. So what can we take away from the 3 preseason games the Packers played? Well, for starters, the receivers have been really impressive. And how about that offensive line? They only allowed 1 sack in the entire preseason.
I think we're in a really good spot. I think we're exactly where we want to be. And I think that, even as the season continues to go, we're going to keep on climbing.
Something that we take pride in, keeping the quarterback clean. So obviously having 2 straight games where we don't allow, a sack, or I don't know if we had any QB hits. It's something that we take pride in that we're really proud of.
Elsewhere in the NFL yesterday, Darlington native Alex Erickson made the most of his final preseason game for the Jets. First, he caught this 15-yard touchdown pass, but the former Badger wasn't done. Later in the 4th quarter, Erickson finds a seam, and he's off to the races. The first touchdown wasn't enough. He had to do it twice. How about it? Alex Erickson with a 2-touchdown day. And Team USA opened the Basketball World Cup yesterday. New Zealand had this interesting dance before that Bobby Portis seemed to enjoy. This one was all stars and stripes, though. Tyrese Halliburton getting fancy with the pass and finds an open Bobby Portis down low for the score later in the game. The Oshkosh native Tyrese Halliburton lets it fly from Lake Michigan. Bottom of the barrel. U.S. wins it easy, 99-72. Next up for Team U.S. is Greece. And how about this first staff trip, Jalen? The Pensacola Blue Wahoos, the AA affiliate for the Marlins, listed their stadium on Airbnb for a little bit over $5,000 a night. It comes with full access to the field. With batting practice all night, you get 10 beds. Food and drinks are an upcharge, but that sounds like a blast to have a little bit of a powwow at a stadium for a night.
Oh, yeah, and another thing that's a blast is that name.
Oh, my gosh, the Blue Wahoos. Now,
but
the Blue Wahoos are also owned by the same people that own the Beloit Skycarp just down the road, so maybe if it goes well down in Pensacola, we could rent out ABC Supply Stadium down in Beloit.
Yeah, we'll have to reach out to management. But back to the Packers and them not allowing a sack. I think there's multiple things that you can take from it. Obviously, the offensive line play, but also the quarterbacks understanding their hots and getting the ball out fast. backs picking up, any free blitzers, anybody hot off the edge, and pass pro as well. So just as a whole offense, the fact that they've only allowed 1 sack in the preseason when depth in the O-line across the league is something of a concern is pretty huge.
Especially for a first-year starter like Jordan Love. You like to see that. I mean, even when Sean Clifford's playing, you're looking good as well. So Packers 2 weeks from today are going to open the season.
All right, it's going to be a good one. And, of course, they're opening up against the Monsters of the Midway. Can't wait. But, all right, thanks, Andrew. And that's it for sports. We're back with more after this.
The Volkswagen Taos. German engineering everyone can get into. Visit your local Volkswagen dealer for 1.9% APR financing for 36 months on a new 2023 Taos or Tiguan.
Summer is ending, but the savings are endless at Bob's Discount Furniture. And this Labor Day weekend, I'm throwing a summer send-off celebration with 6, 12, 30, and 60-month financing options and new everyday low prices on highly rated living rooms, best-selling bedrooms, stylish dining sets, and of course, my world-famous Papa-Pedic mattresses. Plus entertainment and yummy treats for the kiddos. It's gonna be great. Great indeed, Balloon Bob. So join the fun at my summer send-off celebration this Labor Day weekend in all my stores.
Well, it's going to be a beautiful sunny day today, and we can expect much more of the same over the next few days.
Motorcycles are not invisible. But they can seem that way to drivers who aren't paying close attention. Look twice for motorcycles. Seeing them is saving them.
We're the Packers Scratch Game crew, bringing back Packers Scratch Games for you. The pack is back, new Scratch Games are here. With 4 season tickets you could win for a year. There's instant cash prizes and other bonus drawing surprises.
Packers Scratch Games are back with instant cash prizes up to $30,000 and a bonus drawing for 4 season tickets for 1 year. Prices range from $1 to $10. Available now at all Wisconsin lottery retailers.
We're not kidding, somebody will be winning 4 season tickets for a year.
Attention homeowners, we're looking for 50 homeowners who need a new bath or shower. We want to evaluate our custom bathing solutions in real homes for safety and convenience. Call Mad City Baths, Wisconsin's #1 remodeler and trusted local source for American-made baths and showers installed in as little as 1 day. And with our price lock guarantee, we'll guarantee your price for 1 year. Now 50 homeowners will save. Receive free installation of a new bath or shower. 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 24 months. Senior and military discounts, plus call during this program and receive a free $50 Walmart gift card with your in-home estimate. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call with zip code and location to qualify 608-729-4466. That's 608-729-4466.
Intuitive sit to start in the all-electric ID4. It's the little things. It's a VW. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today and get a $7,500 lease bonus on a new 2023 all-electric ID4.
The First Warn Weather Team takes you beyond the barometer, only on News 3 Now.
I'm so happy for you because in the coming weeks it should be cooler. And with football season here, we got the Badgers, high school's already rolling. Luckily, you're not going to be outside sweating too hard.
My gosh, I mean, what's it going to be like?
I mean, it might be a little sweaty on Saturday. It will be a bit warm for the first game, but it is going to be dry, and the dry weather will continue. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit warm next weekend for the first Wisconsin game.
It's worth it.
All right, well, sounds good, and thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you for making it a great evening.